had job offers all around the world. I think the most that she said was like 200. This girl's 6 years, 22, 24, 25 maybe, 200 grand a year, can move anywhere
she wants.
She told us that she was, I don't know if she did or not, but she told us that she was going to take the job in Japan or something. 200 grand a year, living wherever you want. Motherfucker.
And that's why we need to, pay our kids. Everybody's got an aptitude for something.
Yep.
We didn't know until they put me in front of computers that that's what mine was. So what we need to do is expose kids to these things, see where their aptitudes are, and then channel that.
See,
and don't discourage them because that's not what you like to do.
Right.
I mean,
channel their natural aptitudes into a logical career path. And guess what? People still have to work, but they'll be more fulfilled because they're not fighting their very nature.
Well, and that's something that really irritates me because in junior high and high school, they focus on these very strict academic things, right? And if you're not in this box,
you're labeled as a failure.
Yeah.
You know what?
And you know what? Here's the thing, and I firmly believe this. Everybody is really good at something. And you find that something, and then you're going to be happier because I don't know about everybody else, but me personally, I get really pissed when I'm not doing something right or not doing something good.
I don't take failure gracefully.
Yeah, and when I think anybody that does take failure gracefully is probably a little bit of a fucktard personally. But if I'm really good at something, doing that something makes me very happy because I know I'm good and I know I'm the best at it.
I know I have value to offer.
Yep.
You know what? I feel like this is the truth for me. Elementary school, that's where I learned the shit that I use every day.
The basics.
Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Well, and that's
you use that every day. So here's what I'm thinking. We should go back to what we did, in the 80s. First through sixth grade, they teach you the basics. You get them down. After that, yes, have a algebra class sprinkled here and there, and then, like y'all are saying, sprinkle in all these different. Because guess what? You going through high school, you learn so much shit that you will never fucking use in your life unless you're going to some specific thing.
I think boys and girls all need to be required to take home ec.
Oh yeah. You know what's crazy? What's crazy?
Basic sewing,
I took home ec.
Basic repair.
I took home ec like in 7th grade. No, I made a pair of sweatpants.
Yeah.
We cooked.
And you can cook and like, you know, you can take care of yourself.
Boys and girls need to take like future farmers of America, learn how to take care of animals. I mean, we all need these basic things.
Life skills.
There needs to be like a gardening class where we can learn how to make our own food.
You know what you don't need? 12 years of fucking English.
Yeah, no shit.
I had to
Unless you're going to be a goddamn English teacher.
Yeah, that's the only reason you need that. But you know what? I do relatively complex shit on a regular basis.
But I considered an English major, so
see, I didn't. But I do complex shit. That's just the nature of my job. But you know what I don't do? Conjugate verbs.
Yeah.
You know what I do?
Do.
You know what I do on a regular basis though? Put commas in the right spot and capitalize fucking words.
And I know they're there.
Yeah, I know which two to use and which here to use and which there to use.
And here's the thing, like you were talking about, it made me think, like, okay, both of our sons are very smart. But they're smart in different ways. You know, Dylan is very bookish, very theoretically smart. Where Austin, he has just this innate ability to figure shit out, like the mechanics and how it moves and how it goes together and
that's the stuff I like.
Yeah, that's your
to do
kind of
stuff
smart.
with my hands.
Like you can look at something and break it down.
You can sit in front of a computer and make stuff, and I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah, where you
it doesn't interest me. I want to actually get in there.
Yeah. And those are two different kinds of intelligence. Not one is not more valuable than the other. It just depends on the application. But here's the thing that I was thinking about. Both of my boys, when they were in school and like from 9th grade down, they were the teacher's dream. Like they were like top of the class. They were perfect grades. after that, and because it was
boring as fuck.
Because it was building the basics, and they were exposed to a variety of stuff every day as part of their learning. Then we put them into junior high school,
we get this advanced
and
math
it's all this stuff that they don't
English.
have an interest in, and then because they're ADD, then suddenly they're failures as students. No, they weren't. Maybe the children aren't the failures. Maybe it's the educational system, because they...
Well, it's been like that for a long time.
Well, it is, but it's getting worse. It is getting worse as we do. And the thing is, like...
That's because nobody wants to take the time to actually change it.
Right. It's easier.
Well, they tried to change over the whole Common Core thing.
Okay. You know what? The guy that came up with that even said that was bullshit.
I think so.
The guy that came up with that even said, no, this is ridiculous.
But the problem I have, not only does that do them a disservice then, but it also kind of puts this label on them later in life that can that they can self carry. That, well, I'm not smart, so I'm not going to attempt that. Well, no, there are all kinds of intelligences, and they're all valuable. Just because you're not a good test taker.
Well, to be fair, Albert Einstein,
he had a learning disability.
They said he was a horrible fucking student
because he had a learning disability. And the thing, so obviously,
it didn't mean his brain didn't
off
work.
the chart intelligence, but he didn't learn like the average student. That's the only thing that means. And because we try to put all the students in the same box, kids that have different types of intelligence or different learning, Austin, you can tell, you can blah, 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 read something to him all day long, and it doesn't put it in front of him, let him... And he's like, oh, well, that goes there, and this goes there, and that goes...
That's exactly how I am.
And I'm the opposite, see? I have to be able to break it down, kind of process it, and think it through, mull it over, and then I get it. And
it's empty.
It's just different types of intelligence. And when you try to make everybody learn the same way, you're setting at least half of them up for failure.
I saw, or I heard a thing, it was on a... all right, so there's this school called Biotech. They do engine mechanic. It's a mechanic training school is what it is.
For like people that want to work on
these guys work anywhere from your local tire and lube center up to NASCAR.
NASCAR pit crews.
People that just want to learn these mechanics of mechanics.
Well, it's a Votech school and at the end, you can take your ASE certification, be an ASE certified mechanic.
I think they can specialize in stuff.
Yeah. But this one guy, during the commercial, he said it's about being smart with your hands.
And that's true.
Which I'd never really put that together before, even though I was a mechanic.
Right.
She was saying that was just it's a different level, not a different level. It's a different kind of smart.
a different process
someone
to
can
learn.
Just think it through. Someone can read it and get it. Someone can tinker with it and get it.
Well, and that's the thing too. People, you can have a freaking genius as far as book smarts, knowledge, whatever. They can be totally clueless in
how
the real
mechanics
world.
work.
That's
how
one thing I've
things
noticed
physically
about
come together and work.
Our engineers at work. Wow. I mean, they get into some crazy stuff, but then you take them out on the street and they're like, oh, I didn't know that's how that worked.
We have this stigma that only want this type of intelligence, and they're all valid, and it's just like anything else. They all, if you have a person, that's why, teams, if you've got one person that's real great with the details, the schematics, the laying it out, and another person that, is the overall, the big picture person, and the other person that's like, all right, we're going to get the process down. People that learn differently and apply that knowledge differently come together, and you can cover all your bases. And that's what you need in a society, just like you need it in a company. It's just...
Now we got everybody running around with degrees and no jobs.
Yeah, because, there might be 20 jobs in a city for this, and we got 4,000 people with a degree. And then you've got these other skilled labor. They can't find enough electricians, plumbers, and
HVAC people.
Oh my God, yeah, they're always.
Apparently, those cocksuckers make $150 an hour.
They do, because let me tell you what, when it's 100 degrees in Arkansas and your air don't work, that's a goddamn emergency.
That's happened to us twice in the last couple of years.
You'll pay whatever it takes to get cool.
And you know what? I'll pay someone before I go up in a hot, dark attic, which I don't know what's running around up there, or crawl under someone's house. Nope.
Or fuck with that high voltage stuff on the... Nope.
That's that there, and I mean, I like to figure shit out for myself, but I also know when this is not the time.
Yeah.
We need a professional.
This is above me.
Yeah.
Well, for me, that time is usually, if I fuck this up, it's going to cost me a lot more than it would have to just pay that.
Or it's going to literally knock me through a wall. Not for me to mess with.
Yeah.
Could have had this done for $200. Now I have to buy an entire new unit for $2,000.
I fucked a puppy because I was going to do it myself. No thanks.
Kind of like you with the... I could buy this thing for $5, or
I can make it for $75.
Yeah, I can spend $92 on craft supplies and make it myself.
I can make it for $75, but I can make 100 of them for $75.
And then we have 100 sitting around the house.
And then sell them, but no one buys them.
But they can be all exactly what you want and different. So see,
keeps me busy.
Yeah, because she's like me; she can't stand to not have a project.
Well, that's like when
I've got like 50 undone projects right now.
But it keeps your mind happy, so really isn't that...
Well, that's like when I was designing and building those guitar pedals. It's like, oh my God, I'm not paying $100 for that pedal. I can build it. Now I've got $7,000 worth of fuses and fucking resistors and shit.
Oh my God, bags. I've got gallons of block bags full of stuff.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Oh, yeah. I could, between Amber and I feel like we could craft the world.
And I can make any... I can... Oh, you should have heard my uncle when I told him that I've designed my own various guitar pedals. He was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I took the development board and the resistors and built it, and then I did the schematic and sent it off and had the circuit board printed. Ooh, I tried printing my own circuit boards. Dude, the chemicals that you have to have.
That's a level I don't want to get
Oh, no,
down
I did it, and they worked.
Yeah.
And I did about 3 of them, and I was like, oh, this is some nasty shit.
There has to be a better way for this.
Well, there is, you send the schematic off.
To somebody else.
I mean, I've got printed circuit boards in there that have Galaxy pedals, and the pedal name, Galaxy Pedals was the company that I had, and the name of the pedal on there, and all I got to do is, I mean, it shows what level or what size resistor to put where, and I mean, it's just like any other printed circuit board, and put it on and solder it on and fucking put it in the thing.
I've always thought, like, way back in the day, if I was like living in a tribe, I'd be the one making clothes, be making blankets, jewelry, weaving baskets.
You would definitely be like the medicine person. I would be, because they were the ones that did all the creating and the making and the thinking of new ways, and I mean, you'd probably also be burned as a witch, but I mean,
or stoned for being mouthy.
No, that's absolutely how we would go out.
I guess we'd have to have our own, what'd you say those bikers were called? Femme Fatale?
Yeah, the Femme Fatale.
Femme Fatale tribe.
Yeah.
So no one tries to burn us.
Oh, no, an all-female tribe is destined for failure.
No, you
You ever seen an all-female company? No, you haven't.
Not all female, but run by females.
Yeah. I got news for you.
Men can't burn us at the stake.
I got news for you. Most of the civilized American Indian tribes were matrilineal.
Okay, well, most of the civilized American corporate structure that's all female collapses because females are catty. That's 100% accurate every time.
Not really.
Yes, it is. You can say not really, but if you look it up, I promise I'm right.
I could say men are immature.
Well, we are
children.
We are, but we're also competitive. But we can be team players.
Yeah,
and
but you're taking something that's like male corporate and female corporate with such a small number and saying most of them fell. You need to have that percentage.
Yeah, because most of the male corporate fell too. There's just so many more of them that more of them make it.
Yeah, you have to have percentage basis.
I'm just saying that an all-female corporate structure, I've seen how females work when one is subordinate to the other, and I've never seen it turn out well.
Yeah, but we're talking about 2 different types of women.
This is like
way back when people work together and help each other to survive.
Community,
Compared
like
to
if I
now.
win, you win. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Like what we're talking
That's
about.
not a corporate structure.
Because that's not what we're talking about. Like the way Amber wins is the same way I win by having a strong unit and a strong tribe and strong.
Everybody